Okay, good morning, everyone. We are here to talk to you today about a very new option we have here at Homestead High School, and it is called, where's the screen? It is called Senior Core, and we are so excited to share with you what it is today. Okay, so Senior Core is a combined GovEcon and Senior English course. So you all are going to be seniors next year. So you probably understand that AMSTED exists and that it is a combined kind of double class. And that's what we are trying to kind of create in terms of structure as well. So this is going to take up 2 spaces on your schedule. So you can't take AP Government with this. You can't do another lit class with this. This is your combined GovEcon and Senior English courses. Speaking of which, this is not an honors course. This is not an AP course. This is college prep. This is going to get you your A through G requirements. It's going to look fine on your transcript and everything like that. Like I mentioned, this is going to be a double period. We will be honest with you. We have no idea what periods those are going to be. We don't know if it's going to be 1 each day or if it's going to be 2 in one day. We don't know because this is absolutely a new course, and we're very grateful that Homestead is working with us and sticking us where they can in terms of making this happen. But you are going to be in a class of about 65 students, which is pretty cool. There are not many classes that big here at Homestead, and we're excited to go that with you. And lastly, let's do some introductions in terms of who is going to teach this course, and we'll say a little something about ourselves, and then we'll move on.
Hi, I'm Ms. Rivera. I will teach 1 semester of the English. I've been teaching senior English forever here at Homestead. I am so excited to teach this course with Mr. Neese and to get to collaborate with the 3 of us, because we truly believe that you're going to get some really cool curriculum, and we'll tell you about that in just a second.
All right, and then I'm the person that they'll be working with. My name is Mr. Neese. This is my 4th year teaching at Homestead, so next year will be my 5th when I get to work with all of you. I am just as excited to be able to work on this course. This has been a brainchild of ours for a bit. We spent a lot of time working on it, so we're very hopeful for what it's going to turn into next year.
And I am the teacher formerly known as Mr. Ratty. I'm getting married in a couple weeks here, and so next year during spring semester, you'll see the last name Aguirre on your transcript, and that's me. But the 3 of us are gonna work on this together, and we were excited that Riv and I got to split this kind of section because we both, I don't know, I really didn't want to like physically like try to like win this opportunity because she would win, but we're just really excited to do this with you.
Okay, so one might be wondering why we are calling it Senior Core. And while core kind of brings up some thoughts of strength and power, what we're really looking to do is create a community-based class where we are creating open-minded individuals by teaching them relevant curriculum, and in doing so, to have empathy for others. This is community-based in that we will be working together. We are going to work to bring everybody up versus competing against one another to see who can get the highest grade or who can do the most. It really will be about lifting everyone up. Everybody will do better because of that. We want to create a brave space to be able to really question society, our thoughts, how we came to think the things that we think. And we want to be learning from voices in our community rather than just one type of voice that I'm sure we're all really familiar learning about and from. We want this to be a relevant class. We want to depart from and challenge the status quo. We want to learn by doing. We want to research and interact with the world around us because you're going to be graduating and we want to prepare you for that. We want to instill empathy in our students. We want to look at empathy not just for others, but for ourselves as well. We want to contextualize others' learned and lived experiences. And we want to move from allyship to activism, to making a change in the world. All three of us believe in you, but we believe in your abilities. And we want you to be able to take those skills and work on a community, national, or global level.
So just as was said, this is really meant to be community-based, which is especially why we wanted to do a larger class with about 65 students. It gives us greater opportunity to actually have you all interact, but also for you to develop kind of relationships that are positive and healthy on campus with a much wider group of people who actually may have very common belief systems, common ideals, and ones that often possibly challenge your own. The reason we wanted to focus on this and create this course instead of just kind of base it off of something else that already exists is because we want to ensure that everything we're doing is centered on social justice, equity, culturally relevant teaching and learning. We're especially going to focus on nonfiction writings. That'll come up in a later slide. But on my end, as the GovEcon teacher, we're going to try and focus on systems of government economics in a way that allows you to see the pervasive problems in society, looking at wealth inequality, income inequality, looking at the ways that governments work for some people and not for others, looking at the ways that you as citizens in a local community are being impacted by the decisions there. The other part about Senior Core is that the hope ultimately is that you have moved through not only your history courses, but your English courses, looking in 10th grade at a world focus and 11th at the national focus for US history, in order to then shift to a more local focus. We are going to center this not just on the community within our classroom, but also within the community of Cupertino, Sunnyvale, the Bay Area, in order to allow you to understand what goes on to make this space function and how you can provide a sense of activism and allyship to those who most need it in this community.
Ms. Rivera, if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
I hate when I do that. Okay, so we already went over who's who and when we're going to teach, but I do want to go over, like Mr. Neese explained, kind of the nonfiction texts that we'll be reading in the class. And then I'll come back and explain kind of what you need to sign up for. So we're going to go through 5 memoir style writing stamped by Jason Reynolds. Dear America, Notes of an Undocumented Citizen by Jose Antonio Vargas. Yes. Minor Feelings by Kathy Park Hong. My Time Among the Whites by Janine Capo Cruce. Inventing Latinos by Laura E. Gomez. So a lot of the writing that we currently read is novels in a lot of the lit classes. What we want to step away from is centering the voices of people who we don't normally hear from a lot. So that's why we're choosing these particular books and we're choosing memoir style writing. The GovEcon half of the class is not going to use a textbook, which to me is super exciting because that means we're going to be bringing in live text, real text from people who have written about our government and how the government works, and then other supplemental reading. To sign up for this, it's going to be a little bit wonky, but follow us here. You're going to sign up for Contemplit A, and this is the pilot course for that, and then GovEcon B when you in the course selection. So Contemplit A, GovEcon B. Now I want to caution you, there is a Contemplit course. You don't want to sign up for that. That's going to be separate from this. So if you want Senior Core, it's Contemplit A, GovEcon B.
All right, so getting into who this is for, because as you've been listening to this, you might be wondering, is this the course for me? Yes, I mean, this course is meant to cover a lot of different groups and support a lot of different groups. Um, Obviously, with the stuff we're doing related to our content, related to the focus on equity and social justice, we want to encourage especially our Black, Indigenous, people of color on our campus to take this course. We want to encourage LGBTQ plus students to take this course, students with disabilities. We also want to encourage, for those of you who are thinking, well, that doesn't apply to me. If you're a student of privilege, someone who knows that you are on your own journey with understanding issues of anti-racism and equity, if you have a willingness to start questioning those assumptions, as it says, from a place of curiosity, not from a place of defensiveness, this is a great course to try and challenge yourself on that. Our goal is not to challenge you in a way that makes you feel bad about yourself, but instead challenge you in a way that allows you to grow as an individual. So if you're willing to take part in that growth, then I highly recommend this course. We also encourage English language learners. I know there are alternate courses for students who are English language learners, but if you're in a current course and want to pursue something that's a little different, you're welcome to give this a try. I hope you do. Anyone who's looking to get an alternate educational experience, it's a balance between what some might feel is the extreme rigor of an AP class that is just like very intensive, and what I would teach normally in a GovEcon course, which is meant to give you a slower pace, but still focus on a lot of key concepts. The balance is in that we will be doing a lot of work in class, but it'll be intensive work in class to ensure that you are prepared for what we continue to do throughout the semester. If you're interested in social justice, feminism, equity, issues of queer studies, and LGBTQ plus equity, this is a course for you. There's no GPA requirement. We're not trying to limit access to people based on how well you've done in past courses. We just want you to succeed. So if you want to succeed, that's like literally what we're here for. We're also not planning to push you in any given direction as you look past graduation in your senior year. So if you are intending to go to college, awesome, come on into our class. If you are planning to take a year off because you're not here for school the next 4 years of your life, cool. If you're planning to go into military service afterwards, awesome, join in. If you want to do trade school, cool. If you have no idea what you want to do, that's fine. We're not in a position, we're trying to push you on a path for your future specifically. We just want to support you in the ultimate goal of just making it out of here and being a better person when you do.
Okay.
If you are hoping to figure out what it's like to be in the real world, then that's the goal of this course, is to help you get there.
Thank you so much. And the big question is, like, what are we going to do in this class? So as Nice and Rib have been talking about, like, this is a super community-based class, but we don't just want to read about the community. We want to meet the community. And so we're going to send you out to the world to interview people and to research real life things that are happening down the street. We want you to know, like, how to like get a job and keep a job. So we're going to have like some of those type panels. And that brings me to something that we're really excited about is having community panels come in. So it's one thing to learn about the school to prison pipeline, I'm sure you've heard about, but let's bring in some people who have been a part of that world and like can actually tell us like what happened, what it was like, and what it's like now, so we can like look at those things all together. Like I said, or like we said, this is like an actual class, like, you know, it is going to go on your transcript, but we will be open that we're trying to experiment with a lot of different things here. And one of the things that none of us really care about is grades. We know you care about them, but we just want to kind of play around with grades a little bit. Yes, at the end of the day, you are going to get a grade on your transcript. That is not something we can avoid. But we're going to really, really emphasize self and peer reflection and evaluation. So teaching you how to actually evaluate your own work and how to give feedback on others' work, which is a really big part of like the working world. And so you can kind of translate some of those evaluations into like letter grades. And there's this whole concept, all the exciting things in education, like ungraded units or degraded units. And so we're going to play with those things as well. We can't talk about getting into the community without talking about getting into service. So we're going to partner with a local nonprofit group to get us into some service learning opportunities and go out into the world and learn about volunteering. And yes, that is going to include some field trips. So exciting, right? Don't get too excited. They're going to be local, but just like getting you out into the world and seeing how being of service to your community is pretty vital. This is your 12th grade year, and so we are going to finish what you started 10th grade, 9th grade, some of you with a research project. And this is going to be a completely integrated research project. It's going to be using components of both the English side and the GovEcon side. And again, like Nice was saying, like how sophomore year you focus on a global issue. This year, hopefully you focus on a national issue. Senior year, you're going to focus on a community issue and involvement. You'll be working in groups on that as well. Of course, we're going to be writing, even though we're not teaching literature, we are still a writing course. So we're still going to be writing. You're not getting away from that. There is some reflective writing that all seniors do at the beginning of the year in their English course. You'll work on that as well. We want to actually try to do some creative writing, which is not something that we get to do a lot of, unfortunately. And really just kind of seeing how our lives and our lived experiences pop into this work as well. And then lastly, we really want to emphasize this concept of intersectionality, just how all of these different facets of ourselves influence and interact with each other. We are using a social justice standards based curriculum. There's a whole set of social justice standards that exist that we want to share with you and partner with you on so that we can create this really cool space. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. We just really want to thank everybody for tuning in, for watching, for learning a little bit about us. Attached to this link somewhere, you're going to see a link to a Zoom link for Q&A, and you'll be able to pop in and talk with Mr. Nice and myself about any questions you might have. Riv is busy someplace else, but we will happy to answer any questions for you, and we really hope to see you next year. Thanks so much.
Bye.